We're going to jump into some high school basketball here and welcome in Atlantic City girls coach Jason Lantz. Talk about their big win last night over Middle Township as they're into the semifinals of the Cape Atlantic League tournament. Got him queued up there, Josh?
Yeah, I'm here. Good morning.
Hey, what's up? I was waiting for Josh to hit the button. What's going on, Coach?
Not too much. Good morning.
Got a good night's sleep after a big win in the Cal quarterfinals, I'm sure? Or maybe not, considering what you got ahead of you.
Well, game planning. I'm excited for the opportunity.
Take me through last night's game a little bit. Obviously, I was there covering you guys and got off to a great start. I believe you were up 23-6 at halftime, and we talked after the game how difficult it is sometimes to get teenage players to understand, like, hey, this game's far from over, even though we're up by that many points.
Correct. We're a young team, and we're learning, and we're getting better every day, and I'm happy we came out with the W. But, at halftime, we definitely preached that, you had to play the second half probably stronger than the first half, and I'm just happy we learned that lesson with a win.
Take me through your mindset there in the fourth quarter. It looked like you were trying to, slow things down a little bit and sort of limit the possessions that Middle Township had. Obviously, they were shooting pretty well in that second half. Is that what you felt you needed to do, was kind of limit their possessions because they were hitting some three-pointers and you don't want to let them get on a run against you?
Yeah, it's a few things. One, it's kind of a gift and a curse when you're so hot from three-point line early in the game. A lot of times that wears out after a while, and then you have to do what you do and run sets and, play some good basketball. I thought we shot a little too much the second half, which creates fast break opportunities for the other team.
Yep.
I also thought we had an advantage inside. We should have ran our sets where, Howard could have got some more touches inside and, run sets, run clock, get the ball inside, score a few, maybe get a couple fouls, put the game away. But, again, we're learning. We're a young team, so.
Like you said, with such a young team and in terms of the basketball experience in those kind of situations, might be a good thing now that you have a couple days of practice to work on some things like that and really hammer home, what you're trying to accomplish there in the fourth quarter.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about this team, Coach. Obviously, it's quite a different team than when you started. You had some girls kind of out of position for the first couple weeks, trying to make up for some holes where you're waiting on those transfers to get eligible, and you've been kind of a different team since the third week of January. How difficult has that been as a coach when you know you're going to have such a different team at the end of the season compared to the beginning?
I didn't look at it as a challenge. I looked at it as an opportunity for, we have a lot of talented players. It was an opportunity for those players to show what they can do so that when we had the whole team, everybody knows their role. They're comfortable with their role. And the really cool thing is in practice, we just have really competitive practices, which, you just can't replace. So, it worked out in our favor where, in my opinion, we have 9 or 10 players that could be on the floor at any time.
Yeah, and some of these girls don't get a lot of recognition. Obviously, we talk a lot about Siani Red Howard, Tahira Howard, those kind of players who have already made a name for themselves on the Cal stage. But, a player like Kadena Harris-Hood and Syria Bass, I mean, these girls, they just come out there and grind and do their thing, don't turn the ball over, and that can be really valuable to a team, even if you're only scoring maybe 2, 4, 5 points in a game.
Yes, and, I'm glad you said that because, players like Harris and Bass and Russell as well don't get the name recognition, but what they do on the floor is really special in terms of being unselfish and moving the ball around. We have a lot of talented players playing defense up top, trying to limit the other team's better players from getting easy scoring opportunities. And then, the name that nobody ever says, I call her Sam's Nose because Bo Jackson back in the day, but we have a girl named Savannah Robertson. She plays tennis, basketball, softball, and she's just a special talent. She's always there. She's consistent, and she also is a big piece to the puzzle for our team.
It's funny you mentioned her because you kind of beat me to the punch there. I was just going to bring her up, and really the first time I've got to see an extended look at her, and she's really a solid player. Does a lot of things that maybe you don't realize at the time, but then you look at the box score and wow, she almost has a double-double, 9 points, 11 rebounds, and she can quietly put up a double-double on you.
Yeah, every night. She's very unselfish. Sometimes I have to kind of tell her to be a little more aggressive because, she's just an unselfish player. She's looking for people. She doesn't mind not being a star or, recognized, but, I'm trying to unleash her. Let her play.
Yep. We're talking with Jason Lantz, girls basketball coach at Atlantic City, 33-26 win over Middle Township last night in the Cal quarterfinals. And, Coach, take me through your mindset at halftime. I know you're thinking, man, Leahy knows what he's doing, man. He's going to fire these girls up at halftime at Middle Township, and we're going to be in for it in the second half.
Mm-hmm. Just being a part of so many great games, great coaches make adjustments. They know how to motivate their players, and they know how to get the most out of their players. And I've known Coach Leahy for quite a while, even before I was coaching girls basketball. He's got a great basketball mind, and he does a great job. There's a lot of great coaches around here that, it's just fun to coach against them because you're going to get their best every night.
Well, if you happen to get past Mainland in the semifinals, you may be facing another great coach in Ocean City if they win their semifinals, Paul Baruffi, and that's always quite a challenge. I know Coach Betson has a lot of trouble with him every year when they play twice a year. And like you said, you get down to this level, it's great players, it's great coaching. What's it going to take for you guys to knock off a team like Mainland? It's 23-0 and the top seed.
Well, one thing's for sure, I won't have to worry about my girls being excited about the game. They're very excited to have an opportunity to play against Mainland. They're a very special team. And, it's exciting to have a chance to compete and play against them. Obviously, we'll have to be disciplined and take the right shots in the right places. Make sure that we rebound well because they're a larger size team. So we got to work on boxing out this week, making sure we keep the ball up the middle of the floor, make sure we take our time and run our sets so we can get the shots we want. And then, in 4 quarters, anything can happen. So, we're definitely excited to play them.
Well, the one advantage you guys have is you guys have played some great defense. I guess the one disadvantage is that Mainland has 3 6-footers. Obviously, Kylie Watson, 6'4", and then you also have Gabby Boggs and Allie Nazarok, who are also 6-foot players. So that can present a real challenge in the post in terms of keeping them off the boards. I would assume that's kind of your number one challenge is how do we keep them from getting offensive rebounds and second chance points?
Well, that is a challenge, but I think our players are excited. John Howard, Canty, Savannah, and Red Howard. We have some tough players, and if they hold their position and they box out well, hopefully we can limit their second chance opportunities and prevent them from getting too many shots inside.
Talk with Jason Lantz, girls basketball coach at Atlantic City High School. And Coach, what's the mood over there at Atlantic City High School? Obviously, this is the great time of year for Atlantic City when you talk about basketball season, and the boys are the number 1 seed in the Cal tournament, and Ray Bethea is just lighting it up, and Flash Morgan, all those guys, and kind of if you're a basketball junkie, Atlantic City is definitely a town to be in February.
Absolutely.
And you guys have had some tough things to deal with the gym being under construction after that storm, so you kind of have to take on a different mindset of where you're going to practice, where you're going to play games, all that stuff. So it's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride the last couple of weeks.
Well, I think both programs live by the motto, just no excuses. The gym was out of our control. It's unfortunate that we lost our home court. We love our home court, but it's a great opportunity for our community to get to games and see them play. A lot of younger children have a hard time getting to the high school to see the high school games.
Uh-huh.
So, being at MLK Complex, which between Summer League and elementary games, it's a chance for our community to come together, support both teams. It's right in the center of the city. So, you get a positive out of a negative.
And that's a cool little gym, too. I mean, the kind of the 2 levels of stands, and it kind of feels like the fans are right on top of you.
Well, it's not quite, but it's kind of like the old high school and just history of Atlantic City. We call MLK Complex the Mecca of basketball because so many great games and great players that have been in that gym and done some special things. So, that gym is special to Atlantic City.
Good stuff as always, Coach. We appreciate you taking a few minutes. Good luck next week against Mainland. Thanks, bud.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Have a good weekend, man.
All right, you too.